Does anyone remember DACA, the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program, which, if you recall, was rescinded by President Trump back in September, and Congress was given 6 months to handle it before he was forced to jump back in. So the deadline is approaching. The last 6 months have been very uneventful in terms of actual accomplishments coming about. And today, Senators Flake and Heitkamp, who are Republican and Democrat, so it's a bipartisan deal they have going here, introduced legislation that offered a 3-year extension to DACA and $7 billion to Trump's border wall. Now, the idea behind this is you get a little bit of what you want, we get a little bit of what we want, for both sides. And I never thought centrist government was exactly the way to go, where both sides will make these compromises. But this attempts to be a everybody wins situation without actually having really a showing of what prevailed. You obviously you can't have everything you want on the one side or the other when you're dealing with such a narrow margin of individuals in the Senate, that are part of one party and part of the other party. The majority is only about two for the Republicans. So I can get that idea behind it, and I can sort of understand where you think this is good. Um, but you have to ask yourself, $7 billion for a wall. $7 billion that could have gone to, oh, here I go with my domestic program thing again, maybe paying off some of these student loan debts, um, creating some jobs for the young and unemployed, or just the unemployed overall. There's many things that the that cash could have been allotted to, and it's unfortunate that we live in a world where you can convince a number of Republicans to back this program, not because the idea is there of, oh, we're actually trying to fix something, but because they can line their pockets, or rather their donors can be satisfied with this large amount of cash just being funneled to something that is not conducive to actually benefiting the common man. And I expect it to maybe um, get a supermajority of votes, so like a 60. And that's not because it's well crafted, it's, you know, wide appealing, or it has wide appeal. It has just enough to get Democrats to vote for it, and way more to get Republicans to back it. One might say, well, what's the big deal? It's they're giving some cash for this extension, but understand, 3 years isn't that long. In 3 years, you can't even secure that someone's going to graduate from high school that's on that program, or as an undergrad in college. So you're still delaying what is considered the inevitable, because it doesn't fix the problem. This delays the problem and makes it to where, okay, now you have 36 more months before we, try to pull the plug from under you again. Just it's disturbing to me that you have people who are actually going to buy into this and say, yeah, Congress is coming together to fix problems, and they can actually get things done. There's a small group of people who think that, and this will um, succeed in delaying something that needs to be solved rather than pushed back over and over again, and also funding a group of people who have a policy that just doesn't, it's not effective. We've already talked about other ways of entering into the U.S. that people will have with the border walls implementation, but nonetheless, I've harped on enough. I think it's going to go through. We'll see what happens. I would, at the very least, give those two senators um, some kind of praise for at least trying, but that's still not saying much, because No one else has really done anything. So thank you.